I didn't believe you that Rises might be better than Dark Knight.
Elite.
I didn't believe you.
It's elite.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the final Dark Knight Trilogy review. So it's just two people with me this time with
Jonah Morgan.
and
Jackson Chapman.
as usual, Christian Hopkins. And today we're here to talk about The Dark Knight Rises.
I finally finished the trilogy. I hadn't watched it before, but you really wanted me to, and now I finished it.
It's elite, man.
And I can say I get it.
I mean,
I get it. They only get better.
if it's directed by Christopher Nolan, it's good. It's good.
and the music is banging.
So good. I mean, again, Christopher Nolan, he don't miss.
No, he doesn't.
He don't miss.
I can't think of a movie where he's missed.
Is Inception Christopher?
Yes.
What do we want to start with?
I don't know.
With the few bad?
I say few bad, yeah.
Here, start with Bane. Start off with Bane.
Yeah, so...
Because Christian has some reservations about him, but...
I'm not a huge fan of Bane's voice. His mask makes it very difficult to understand what he's saying most of the time.
That's fair.
And... like, that's really my only problem with him, is because there's some scenes in the movie where I had to genuinely look up, like subtitles or something to hear or understand what he was saying.
I don't hate his voice,
I don't hate it.
especially when he's talking quieter, when it's deeper.
Yeah.
It sounds really cool when he's talking quiet.
I think his voice is, okay, when he's on the football field giving his speech.
Yes.
That is so cool.
So, yeah, you know they use, like, Steelers players for
Yes,
that? Because
I
you
saw-
can see
yeah.
Big Ben in the
I saw Big
background.
Ben, Heinz Ward is on there.
Palomalu's in there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Which is hilarious.
I mean, that speech alone on the field.
He's giving and then he gives the monologue when he first takes over on the steps, when he says, step forward, those who would serve. That monologue is incredible.
See,
I forget about his voice in that monologue because the monologue is really good.
See, that's why
Batman villains have good
that's my
monologues.
only like issue with Bane, and it's not even an issue because the scenes that Bane has in this movie
They're
are
iconic.
so
They're
good.
right, guys, I'm gonna say it. They're up there with the Joker. His monologues are up there with the Joker.
I would say that I do like Joker better.
Yes.
Joker's
more iconic.
Heath Ledger's perfect. It's so good. But Tom Hardy as Bane, Bane is a big dude, and
Yes.
and in this movie he looks like a big dude. You know how tall Tom Hardy is? Like 5'9".
He looked huge.
He makes him look big.
I think he had a gigantic shoes to fill.
Yes.
Because you have
Because-
Dark Knight with Joker being
with-
one of the
honestly,
best villains. of all
and then with
time.
him passing away prior, you got
that was a legacy role of the next Batman villain, and he had to step up. And he did.
and it made Tom Hardy what he is
Which
now.
I wonder about is a big reason why people don't like this movie as much as
It's
the
It's
other
because
one.
it's right after one of the greatest movie villains of all time.
Exactly.
You can't compare anything to that, because if you do, you're just going to be disappointed.
Exactly.
I'll say that I'm not the biggest fan of Selena in this movie. Wait, no, not Selena.
Talia?
Talia. Sorry,
There you
Talia.
go.
Talia.
She's
okay.
yeah, Talia is like...
She's just mid.
Yeah, because the twist is really big, and then she lives for like a total of 10 more minutes. I get exactly
when I first watched it, sorry, did not mean to say Selena Kyle, which by the way, we can quickly
we'll
say
find-
Selena Kyle.
Fine, thank you.
Well, Anne Hathaway, she looks hot in this movie, but also she's a very good Selena Kyle.
Yeah, she's up there as one of my favorites.
I love that her
The
goggles turn
Catwoman.
into her bat.
her cat ears.
I mean, she turns from this girl who steals everything because that's just who she is, and then she starts doing stuff for good because
it's like the Batman.
It's like, I mean, yeah, exactly.
When she had
They had
that
a blueprint.
Yeah.
When
There's a couple
when
scenes
she
they
sees
have
the
with
cycle
Batman.
for the first time and she says, "Come with me."
Batman.
You
the
pointed
Batman.
out you said the Batman when she
Because
said
she's
that,
riding
the
a
scene from the Batman was playing.
Because she's riding a motorcycle off in the distance when she's.
I think the first interaction between Selena and Christian Bale when he's on his cane, or sorry, Bruce Wayne. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
that
so
was,
he shoots an arrow at her.
Yes,
he shoots an arrow at her, and then she apologizes.
Yeah, that's kind of his way of saying, "Hold up, lady. Do you know who I am?"
Oh no,
I'm Bruce
he
Wayne."
knew immediately, and I looked at her and I was like, oh, I remember what character she is.
Yeah,
because
she turned around and you went, "Wait, what?"
Wait a second. And I forgot that she was... It's so weird because I wouldn't think of Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, but she's very good.
That was my first exposure to Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
She might be my favorite Catwoman.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
she
set the standard for Catwoman.
She's also first.
Who's Zoe Kravitz? Is that the...
Kravitz was good.
She's very good.
I
think she's effective for a young Catwoman.
Yeah, she's amazing.
But I think Anne Hathaway, she was then besides Michelle Pfeiffer, she's been the second Catwoman, I believe.
Yes,
I don't.
movie-wise, yes.
Movie, yeah.
Third,
What's the second?
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry was Catwoman.
The solo Catwoman movie.
I don't even know.
That's a thing?
Good.
That's a thing? I didn't even know that.
Good.
Well, so we're going to keep her as the second. Anne Hathaway is the second one.
She's the second good one.
Yes, she was very good. She served her purpose.
Halle Berry
She-
makes...
2004.
Yeah, I did not know that she got her own.
Wow, that looks
movie.
bad, huh?
It's considered to be one of the worst comic book movies ever made.
okay.
Halle Berry even makes fun of it.
Yeah, well,
Are you talking about her outfit?
Yes.
I knew.
but I think they became a good tandem, Batman and Catwoman, just like they do in all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of got off the wrong foot with Bruce Wayne, and I love how Bruce knew that it was Selena Kyle, but Selena Kyle had no idea that Batman was Bruce Wayne
Until Bane says it.
Until Bane says it.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to Talia. She was just one of those characters that I didn't understand why Bruce was so invested in her.
Giant twist, 10 minutes later, dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like the twist was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. When I first watched that, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
And it
like
sets
Bane
up-
said
and
there.
could set up Damien.
I forgot that she was telling if she had not died, it could have set
It could have set up Damien because they did it.
AKA the biggest brat in comic book
biggest
history.
brat.
Literally,
biggest little snob.
the twist of Bane and Talia being
I think it's solid.
children. That's so cool, and that's so smart. Is that in the comics?
Wait, is Bane also Ra's al Ghul's child? I don't think he is.
I don't remember.
Because-
So they're not blood brother and sister.
No, she's the daughter, and then whenever Ra's al Ghul went back into the pit to like get revenge,
Gotcha,
he found him. So they were like raised as.
Okay, so they were steps.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The fact that flashback was also the only time you see like true like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
That's the only time you see.
You see his true face.
Because you see, and because it shows that little kid multiple times, and that little kid since they have a buzz cut could very well pass as a little boy,
Which you think it is
for over half the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a good twist, but they don't really do anything with it. So I'm not like it's good, but it's not. I mean, it's not amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have much bad. I kind of want to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of mix good and bad a little bit.
I kind of want to talk about. We talked about this in multiple reviews. The ability for the villain to feel like they're gonna win, and in this movie, you had me at Bane thinking,
Bane rules Gotham for 5 months.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
you had me
he's-
thinking Batman is literally done.
Because he's in the pit for, I looked it up, 5 months.
Yes.
He's in that pit for 5 months, which is
the
insane.
thing with that is the first movie makes the most sense to like have that less of a feeling of he's gonna win because of the fact it's the first movie. Second movie you get a little bit more because like it's the second movie.
This movie, Batman
but this is the
gets his
final movie
spine.
of the trilogy, so you really think
But
he
he really
might
could
not
die.
win.
Exactly. Like I went into this movie thinking, Bruce Wayne's dead. Like that's what I went into this movie thinking. And with how dominant Bane was for 80% of the movie, you really couldn't blame me for thinking that because he was so good.
Because he
one's like,
snaps one of his vertebrae out of
we'll
his
talk
face.
about that in just a second. One of my other kind of not problems with the movie is the fact that Bane's death kind of felt a bit not underwhelming. Because
How does he die?
Catwoman shoots him with
That's
the
right.
cycle, and then it just kind of moves on after that. I feel like that's a look kind of like it felt kind of underwhelming.
The last movie also moved on pretty quick from Joker, but he didn't die.
He had the huge.
He just
monologue.
got captured.
He had the huge monologue to where that was.
But it wasn't like, hey, he's dead. Okay, bye.
Only villain that had like a good death scene, I think, was Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's.
I think Ra's had a really good way to go out.
Ra's.
Joker definitely technically didn't die.
I like how Liam Neeson
but
comes back in
the
this
thing
movie,
is, he
too.
had a great scene before. Like
Yes, he had one of the best
because
monologues
He had the
ever.
monologue, so that was amazing.
Yeah.
Here, Bane is just shot, and then they immediately move on.
Yeah.
How strong is that Cycle's gun?
Pretty
It wrecks a
darn strong.
couple tanks.
It's bad. Lucius made it. It's gonna be pretty freaking.
Okay, the Bat Cycle's sick in this movie. That whole thing where the tires like rotate around instead of like drifting is so.
I also
sick.
love the first scene where they're in the tunnel, the lights go off, and you start to
Oh,
see
you
what
see,
the
you're
light-
in for
and
a
the older
night.
cop goes, "Oh, we're in for a treat."
Oh, we're in for a treat, kid.
Which is straight up something from the Dark Knight Returns
Dark Knight
comics
Returns.
and animated movies.
I also like the first scene of the movie, or first Bane interaction with the plane.
Oh.
Dr. Pavel, and
Which is 3 months before the so this movie happens if you count that beginning scene over the course of 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bane, this is what I like about this Bane is that like a lot of other Banes are like giant, like huge. They're stupid. This Bane is so
really,
smart.
Which is really on like Arkham Asylum. City,
but then like Origins and like the comics, he's smart. He's very intelligent.
Because and we'll talk about a specific part of why he's so smart when we get to the biggest moment with Bane. With the but. That beginning scene with the plane is
he's intelligent, but he's also like
that's one of the best introductions for a villain in any movie.
That like plane dropping out, dude.
Hey,
that's cool.
Hey, listen, Christopher Nolan doesn't miss with villain intros.
No,
you had Joker's last.
Joker's with
and Ra's al Ghul with the League of Shadows intro.
But the fact that you don't know it's him until third act.
Literally so good when introducing these characters, because in a lot of these movies we go to Marvel. I feel like villains don't really get
You're correct.
their intro.
You're correct.
Let's think about it.
They don't have a scene all about them showing them, hey, this person might kill our hero.
Exactly.
It's rare.
Unless you're Thanos, but like he's not.
Thanos is a different story.
Yes,
Thanos is a different.
But he's not on his own. There's Thor in that scene. He's not like yeah. But like that is a different thing.
Yeah.
Even though Loki in the Avengers wasn't his introduction as a character, but it is his introduction to that movie.
He has that opening scene. Yeah,
but that is fair because the introduction of all these three villains in these three movies, it's like they have like a dominant, amazing introduction.
Bane's more of a character than Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Well, that's the thing is Bruce Wayne's barely in this movie.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and talk about him.
Okay,
but
that was my main thing with this movie is that Batman / Bruce Wayne is probably in half of this movie, and it doesn't feel, and you still enjoy the other parts of the movie.
He just makes such a big impact in this movie
because Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is Blake, Robin, they don't do anything with that, which sucks. Yeah. But he's the main character for the parts that Bruce is not in, and he is amazing.
He's a great character.
Because this is 2 years after he had been in his breakout movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's good. He
great character.
He makes it to where you're not like absolutely like devastated that Batman is not on screen.
Yeah.
Same thing with Gordon too.
Yeah. The fight scene in Bane's kind of lair with Bane and Batman
underneath Wayne.
Oh my gosh, that is my favorite scene in the movie by far, because I was talking with Chris. That is the most quotable thing in this trilogy is, oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted it. I was born in it.
And I never got the context of that line until I watched this movie.
Oh my
because he was born and just
and he dominated. He
threw
him down a drain and said, "Here you go, get away. You're not on my level anymore."
Yeah, because he had that one scene where a crook came down and brought Gordon down there and said,
"So that
him down here," and then like Gordon like rolls off, it's like, man, he could go anywhere. Then follow him, shoots him, and then kicks him into that tree.
I like how his lair was right underneath Wayne Enterprise. Like the armory.
So, but if we go back to that scene between Bane and Batman, the fact that that's their first interaction, and you just like...
And he already knows it's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. He knows it's Bruce Wayne, that's where Catwoman figures out as well.
He's so smart.
Oh my god.
Because he figures out...
This sends me like...
Because in Arkham Origins, he also figures out that it's Bruce Wayne too, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, he does, and it's
awesome. It's good.
Amazing.
Very good.
But, and you get the iconic Batman scene in just about any form of media where Bane breaks Batman's...
Where he gets his vertebrae.
And one thing that, like, also is more of a thing in the comics with the fact that happens is the fact that... So, the thing in the comics is very different. Here, it's like, he hasn't been Batman for 8 years. He's very...
Which is crazy.
Yeah. He's been very...
Old,
isolated.
He ages... poorly.
He needed like a brace to fix his leg.
Yeah, a brace to fix his leg from the fall that he took when he was Batman and he never got it fixed. And also, like, the doctor said that he has no cartilage in his knee from just like, I guess just wear and tear of being Batman. Yeah. Because like, that's tough.
Which I really like that we get a superhero who is not...
It's battered and bruised.
You get all these superheroes who... They never show any effects of them being injured, really.
He comes out of retirement.
Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
He comes out of retirement to save the city, then takes another break for 5 months because he gets his spine shattered.
Yep. And then is trapped down in that
and then comes back out of that like little 5-month retirement.
Goes
back into retirement at the end of the movie.
That's when that scene happened when he like gets out of the pit.
That music is so dumb.
That's one of the many moments in the movie where I'm like, this music needs to
chill.
chill.
It's so crazy because there's some movies that the main characters of the movie you don't care about, they don't characterize them enough. The people that he's down with in the pit, those 2 prisoners, they're awesome. Yeah. It makes you like them. They're in the movie for.
That's probably my second favorite scene is him. It's kind of like this transition of him working out, trying to get back in shape in order to make the jump, and he kept trying to go from this to this, and the old guy's like, you have to jump, because he tells the story of Bane getting out, and
those old guys get more killed.
And then it's the mouse.
Do you have that memorized?
I've seen this movie an unholy amount of times.
And it just means one word. It's rise.
Literally, and he makes the jump, and they go ballistic, and then it's just him unraveling the rope and him just walking back in the golf.
And then he drops down the rope.
Back to an area to get back to golf.
Yes,
because he's somewhere. I don't remember where.
They never say what country that's in.
No, I'm sure.
So good, man.
Yeah, but back to the scene with Bane and Batman's first interaction. So in the comics, it's a very different story of how Bane breaks Batman. So the story there is that Batman has been having a long night. He had so many escaped prisoners they had to put back. He had Joker, Scarecrow, every single villain. Well, when he gets back to the Batcave, Bane's there. So he is completely exhausted. Does not stand a chance against Bane, and then that's how Bane breaks his back.
And in this movie, a vertebrae pops out of place. No, in comics, his spine breaks in half.
Yeah. He gets messed up.
I want to talk about my favorite part of this movie is the acting is phenomenal.
Acting is really good.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is really good as a newcomer to this series.
Best actor, Michael Caine.
Michael.
He about made me tear up twice. Whenever he leaves the first time, that almost made me tear up because he starts to get teary-eyed. And at the very end,
because you don't see him again until the very end.
The scene where he is talking to Bruce's gravestone, saying, "I found you. You trusted me."
He's in three scenes. What's the first scene he's in? There's one other scene that he's in.
It's the one they're at the party.
It's the one at the party, which is also very good. He gets 3 opportunities to act in this movie because he's not in that much of it, and
no, he's not.
And
after he leaves first time, you don't see him again until the.
And I don't care because he gave us some of the best acted scenes.
Gary Oldham as Jim Gordon. Also.
Gary Oldman is very, very, very good. And then Bale.
Bale's
acting is amazing. Even his just. You can tell he is fully broken.
His demeanor goes from "I'm broken"
to "I'm ticked."
But I'm ticked. I need to save my city. Here's what I'm gonna do.
No, and the acting that he does whenever his spine is broken, that pain acting, that was also very good. It's very
he's
convincing.
Lying down and then being pushes on him to get up, and he's showing pain.
No, his acting is the acting in this movie.
The monologue of him in the bat, kind of flying thing, and he's talking to Jim Gordon.
He's talking to Gordon,
basically telling him, "Hey, I'm Bruce Wayne."
Yeah, he says, "Put a coat around a little kid's shoulder."
So good. Oh man, is so good.
And that's the last time Gordon sees Batman.
And then you just get a faint Jim Gordon going, "Bruce Wayne." So, this movie is amazing.
And that's the last time he ever sees him, as far as we know.
You did kind of touch on this earlier, but I mean, all the action in this movie,
the combat is phenomenal.
The final fight scene between Batman and Bane is
so good.
Tom Hardy is I promise you that's Tom Hardy is amazing.
I love how basically it's the two sides, evil versus good, and they just all sprint at each other.
What I said is it looked like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes.
It looked like Narnia. That is what I said.
Oh, it was so cool. And then basically in the midst of all the chaos, Bane and Batman kind of get to each other. They know
because Bane walks through it and he choke slams one guy.
While he's fighting, trying to go find Batman, he's punching
Spartan kicks one guy.
Same for Batman. They're just trying to get to each other. And then they just go to town.
I love one distinct scene where Batman's pinning it to a pillar. And then he's punching Batman. Batman gets out of the way.
He punches it.
He keeps punching it. He punches through it.
That shows
he's human.
Yeah,
he's human. He's human in this movie
because I think Bane kind of underestimated him because he's thinking, "Oh, this is the same guy that I destroyed in this sewer."
And he also wasn't expecting him to return.
And I broke his spinal cord.
He sees the flaming bat on the bridge, and he goes, "Impossible."
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That is really cool. Bane, I mean,
I like that Scarecrow's in this movie for 10 seconds.
He is death for a bit.
Or exile, and then it's
which is funny. It's really good.
Death by exile.
By exile.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I turned to Christian. I'm like, haven't I heard that Scarecrow is in a little bit of this movie?
Yeah, because I didn't remember.
He's a big villain in the first one, and then Dark Knight Rises. He's in like 20 seconds of the movie, but it's
is that the only other villain in this movie?
Yeah,
I guess Talia's
we covered her
villain.
enough.
Yeah,
I mean Ra's in flashbacks.
Ra's
but
in
yes,
flashbacks,
no,
and
Bane,
in like a vision, like ghost.
Bane and Scarecrow. Yeah,
Much more Bane.
I could go on and on about this movie. This trilogy is some of the best action of all time.
Yes, I agree.
And cinematography, once again, there's so many shots where I'm just like, bro, chill.
When is he doing the retractable cape? I missed that.
Yeah, I think you see it when
he does it once.
Yeah, it's just in the Dark Knight.
That reminds me. The suit's the same, but it's amazing.
It didn't really need a change from
Bane looks cool.
Bane looks cool.
Especially with that jacket. With the jacket with the wool.
Catwoman with the binocular.
That binocular ear.
That was cool.
So good.
Sick. I think the only thing we have left to talk about is the very end of the movie. Batman takes the bomb, goes out just to the bay.
You think he goes out to the bay.
Well, you think that, and then like it's revealed much later on in the movie to be autopilot. And one thing I love is that Alfred said much earlier in the film, one thing I never wanted you to come back to Gotham. I always had this area I went to where I would get
callback,
and all I wanted to see was you.
And he doesn't even seem that surprised. He nods at him.
That's perfect though. The fact
and he's with Selena.
He's with Selena. Of dialogue.
Not a word of dialogue, just this faint.
Because you have that scene where
and he actually ends up with
where
Selena,
Alfred's gone to this area, sees Bruce with Selena, and then you have this entire scene where Robin is finding the Batcave. Another Batcave, and the final shot is just the platform rising up. Essentially setting up that he is going to be like a Robin or like the next Batman or whatever.
I think that was meant to be left like open ended. I don't think they were ever gonna.
I guess it was just like, let's get the audience thinking. Maybe.
Yes, I agree.
The way this movie ended was just, while it was kind of up in the air of like what exactly happened, you got a good conclusion for Bruce Wayne's story.
Let's think about it. Perfect. In every movie, he makes some sort of sacrifice to save Gotham, and in this one, he makes the sacrifice. Well, so in Dark Knight, he makes a sacrifice saying, "Harvey Dent was a hero. I'm not the hero. Leave me out to dry."
And the fact that when Gordon was taken to Bane took his speech and used that speech to shout on TV, Harvey Dent was not who you thought he was, and basically was just out of the mouth.
Yep.
And I was like,
yeah. And then in this movie, just willing to take the atomic bomb, put it in the middle of the ocean, and make people think he's dead. And that was like he got a statue in Gotham. And
the last thing he does is, the last thing Christian does as Bruce Wayne is nod to Alfred.
I love that he doesn't need any sort of gratitude or people paying him back. He just is like, I love my city. I've done my time. Let me go enjoy my time in, I'm sure it's like Hawaii or something.
It makes me so excited for what they're going to do with Pattinson.
Yeah.
Oh, man. They have some shoes to fill, though.
Really do.
And they did a great job with the Batman, with his origins. Oh.
Okay, so I think we...
Is it Hunter's here, so let's...
Is there anything else?
I'm good. Let's do ratings.
All right, let's have the ratings.
Do you want to finish? Do you want to finish it or do you want to start it?
I'll start it.
Go
you finish it.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Okay, so this movie, I loved it so much more on rewatch. I honestly might like it just as much, if not more, than The Dark Knight. Batman Begins, I'm still solidifying that is my favorite of the trilogy, but this movie was just so much better than I remembered. I hadn't seen it in a solid like 5-6 years, and it's just such a good movie, such a great end to this trilogy. Solidified this trilogy as one of the greatest of all time, and I'm going to stick with this movie, same as Dark Knight, 9.5.
Good call.
What did I give it? What did I give Dark Knight?
9.6.
Okay. I'm so glad that Jackson has forced me to watch this.
You're welcome.
I'm saying it. This is the greatest superhero trilogy in history. Said it. Better than Captain America. Avengers doesn't count.
No, we're not counting Avengers.
Better than Iron Man.
Better than Iron Man, because I'm a Captain America person.
That's not
better than Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's not close.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
because the only one that's up there is Captain America for me.
Yeah.
Captain America's still my favorite.
This is past it.
Yep.
So you said 9.6, correct? Is what I gave Dark Knight. This is a 9. Oh crap.
I don't think that's a rating there, Jonah. 9 oh crap.
9.8.
9.8.
Absolutely. This movie, the acting pushes it that little bit above Dark Knight. I love Heath Ledger, but the acting in this movie is spot on. This movie is so good that it makes it to where you like Bruce Wayne is only in like half of this movie, and it's still amazing. This is one of my favorite superhero movies that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is one of my favorite movies I've ever seen.
Exactly. Yeah. With me, again, I've said in the Dark Knight review that I go back and forth of which one I like more, and again, I cannot make a decision.
Say it.
So difficult. I gave Dark Knight a 9.8.
Oh, you're in a pickle.
I'm in a pickle. Do I go one above with 9.7, or one below with a 9.7, or one above with 9.9?
Or go the same.
I'm gonna go the same. Sorry, 9.8.
That's
These
fair.
two movies are two of the best superhero movies of all time. Two of the best movies of all time, and they can't be beat. They're just cream of the cream. They're elite.
Yeah. The only reason that I didn't give it 10 is Talia a little bit.
Yeah, but the flaws are so minute that it's fine.
Minute.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great movie. But with that, we have now finished the Dark Knight Trilogy.
Thank you.
And it's
just man.
I can't put into words, but
now I can talk with my brother about this. He's gonna be so proud of
me.
me.
Batman is still my favorite Batman movie easily. I still stick to that
and
movie. I still stick to that movie as a 10 out of 10.
And Bale is also one of the best castings I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, when you think of
three of the best castings ever: Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, and then Bale.
When you think of like iconic roles that can't be done by anybody else, it's tough because RDJ. I don't think anyone's ever gonna put on a show that he did as Iron Man.
Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Well, Hugh Jackman was Wolverine.
He's coming.
And Pattinson, it's tough because
he's off to a phenomenal start.
Yes. But right now, when I think of Batman, I think of Christian Bale.
I'm so glad that that Pattinson is a different Batman. He's young Batman. I'm so glad they didn't try to always the same age.
I do like the Batman more than this trilogy is like a me personal thing, but I can't wait for when Pattinson is able to finish his trilogy.
Give me Joker.
Yeah. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next review, which is so late.
Check out the Man to Man podcast.
Yes, we were actually about to record the next episode of the Man to Man podcast. So by the time this video comes out, it'll be out. Link will be right below in the description. Check it out. And the next review will be a late 500 subscriber special review for Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Later, webheads.